Sports Show, time to talk SANFL, and of course Luke Marchioro joins us. Lukey, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Phil. Barry, how are you?
Very good, mate. Now, which week, mate, is going to be a bigger week? The week that's just been, or we've got the bye this weekend, but next week after, there is some games.
Next week is going to be a really interesting weekend of footy. We've got the top six all playing each other.
Yep.
I think the top six have sort of clued themselves after last weekend, so we're going to get a really good guide into where everyone sort of sits after the next couple of weekends of footy, I feel.
All right, let's have a talk about what happened on the weekend, mate. Eagles Port, most of the attention really wasn't on the game, it was on Charlie Dixon. So let's talk about Charlie. How did you see him?
Charlie probably looked a little bit short of a run. If he woke up on Saturday morning and said what weather I'd like, it probably wasn't going to be the rain at Alberton Oval, and against a couple of really experienced key defenders in Rory Lehman and Luke Thompson, he didn't get it all his own way. So probably a bit hurt by the midfield as well. Wasn't the best day for Charlie, but he'll be better for the run for sure.
Much better for a run, yeah. I think he, as you said, he needed it.
He only played 26 minutes, so that's all it was, just easing back in. So
you don't come back after that.
Yeah, he played about 18 minutes a quarter, so they were just trying to get him into the game. And when he did look good in that second quarter, he kicked their first goal, set up another one. They kicked 4 in a row. That was probably their best 10-minute patch of the game when he got going. And then sort of in the second half when the rain came, the Eagles were too slick and just pulled away with the game.
Mate, Adelaide 54-point winners over Westies. Most people probably thought it was going to be a bigger margin than that. So Westies are kind of hanging in there. I know the margin says that they're not, but they're improving. But Adelaide seem to be up and about.
Well, yeah, Westies played a lot of kids. They debuted Kobe Ryan, who'll probably be a top 15 pick in this year's draft, who's a kid that I really like. Had 18 disposals and a couple of goals and looked really good. So I expect to see a lot of those kids get opportunities this year for West Adelaide. They've got Harry Lemmy and Tom Scully as well, who they'll both look to blood during the year, who are key position players. And for the Crows, they're just, again, as we've said it all year, they're just victims of their healthy list at AFL level. They've got great depth now at SANFL level. And even with their top-up and development players, as they're called, they've added guys like Louis Sharrod, who played a lot of footy at Woodville West Torrens, Isaiah McKenzie, who played for Central District, and Nathan Freeman, obviously, who was a really class player in the VFL last year. So when you've got 3 guys like that can come in and be really big bodies around those younger kids that are coming through, it's a really good mix for them, and they're going to be dangerous in the second half.
I looked the TV on Channel 7, had the South Norwood game. It was nearly 2 halves. 2 different halves. Norwood in the first, South in the second.
It's probably emblematic of what we said of Norwood all year.
It's a nice word, mate. What was it?
Emblematic.
I'll have to look that one up when I get home, mate. Yep.
But I think with Norwood, they were 2 goals in front at half time, and they probably should have been 5 goals in front. They kicked 2-2 in the second quarter when they had all the play. And South Adelaide just ran over the top of them. It's a really good win for South. Bryce Gibbs only had 10 touches and a goal. And for them to win without him playing well and in those kind of conditions, it might be the thing that kickstarts their season a bit, I reckon.
Full credit. I saw the game. Full credit to South because they just wouldn't go away.
Yeah.
And you had that feeling in that third quarter. You think, well, they might win this. Whereas in the second quarter, you just thought, Norwood, they're just going to run away with this game. But Norwood have done that. I think the 3 times that I've seen them, they've disappeared for a little while. They just disappear.
They're a team that's fits and bursts. They play really good footy in patches and then they just disappear. South Adelaide were really good though. They've added some leg speed into their team. They've added Kim Cantilla in the last couple of weeks, whose great grandfather played in the only South Adelaide Premiership, and he was, he's added some leg speed, kicked the goal that put him in front in the weekend, and guys like Jai Menzies and Luke Bogle and Hayden Sampson, they'll get Eamon Wilkinson back at some point. They've got a lot of leg speed through there. And it's something that they haven't had the last couple of years, and if they can get that quick ball movement going, they're going to be pretty dangerous.
Well, it's not an easy win to go down there and win, is it? Anyway, Norwood, you don't go down to Norwood and win.
Teams haven't won at Norwood a lot this year, especially South Adelaide. So
that's right.
For them to win that game and get to 3 and 4 and stay in touch with the top 4, it'll set them up for the rest of the season.
I know we got Matty Panos just starting to come back off his knee injury. He had a couple of runs. He might be that one that can just squeeze them through when they need those. Yeah. North Adelaide, Glenelg, 100-year celebration at the Oval on the Sunday, on Mother's Day. Big crowd. It was a ripping game of footy. And, North finished up winning it, but it could have gone either way. And you would have walked out going, I'm disappointed my team lost, but gee, it was a great game of footy.
Yeah. Fantastic game of footy. The 2 sides that are going to be there when the whips are cracking at the end of the year. North Adelaide have been the surprise packet. Probably a lot of people, including myself, thought they'd be sliders this year, but they've been able to really respond. And some of the the young kids they've added into their forward line have really given them a bit of a spark. And they're playing some really good footy. Their experience heads through the midfield. Campbell Coombe, Harrison Wick had 45 touches on the weekend, and Aaron Young as well. So those guys are being really prominent and really potent in their midfield and giving them first look with the footy.
I think that they are, from where I sit, probably the best balanced side that I've seen in North Adelaide. Yeah, I like North Adelaide. I think they've got a really good balance. Their ground announcer's got a bit of a sense of humour, obviously, at North Adelaide. Well, he did say to the crowd there on the weekend about, for those of you who remember...
100 years ago.
100 years ago, in 1922, it was North Adelaide by 25 points. And I saw 3 or 4 people go, yeah, I was there.
Yeah, was it 100 years ago?
Yeah, 100 years ago, for God's sake. But yeah, good sense of humour. It's a great initiative by North Adelaide, wasn't it? The 100 years and the whole...
Yeah, it's good.
Shooting match.
And we've seen some teams do that really well the last couple of years. Glenelg with their centenary Guernsey last year, and Westies earlier this year as well did something similar. So good to see clubs embracing their history and doing it a bit as well. And they continue to go back on the history of the SANFL.
It's so they should go back on their history
and show that's been really fantastic.
Mate, it is a bye weekend. SA travel to Perth to play WA. What are you thinking?
We got a few out, haven't we, Luke? And there are a few dodgy ones. There always is, though, isn't there?
A few injuries at this time of year. Luke Partington, obviously, Matt Snook, Paddy Wilson hurt his shoulder on Sunday as well, so there's a few missing there. But we haven't even seen a Waffle squad as yet with their COVID stuff. Half their squad could be playing for the West Coast Eagles with all their stuff on the weekend, so we really don't know what the Waffle are going to be able to put out on the park. So it's going to be a really interesting game. There's still a lot of quality in that South Australian or the SANFL side. These midfielders from North Adelaide and the Eagles that are going to be over there, and they've got a lot of firepower in that forward line with McBean and Ballenden and Menzel and these type of guys. They're going to kick a lot of goals. So you'd think South Australia will be favourite, but it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it's always a fast game over there, isn't it? Bigger ground, they open up the spaces. The WA team normally go with a quick group, so you'd expect it to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I think it will be. And generally these games are a really good showcase for footy. And with the mid-season draft coming up as well, there's going to be some good opportunities.
Exactly right.
The young lad from West Adelaide, Josh Carmichael, who's probably been their shining light this year, 189cm midfielder, was added to the squad. So he's going to be one to watch out for, I reckon, this weekend as well.
Hey, Lukey, we always appreciate you coming in, mate. Absolutely brilliant coverage as always, mate, on the SANFL. It is going to be a bye weekend, but you want to watch SA up against WA. Stay with us. Still, plenty to come.